So it's a lot going right now on social media. People being exposed, people being sued, people, I don't know whether they're seeking attention or just it's a cry for help. Some things is real, some things isn't. It's fake, it's just misinformation. It's a whole lot of stuff going on social media, on these internet streets, even to the point of the everyday thing we deal with on social media with rage baiting, race baiting. And I said misinformation. It's a whole lot. And we're going to discuss it. We're going to discuss what's going on right now. Like, how can we utilize this moment and make social media a space, like use it consciously. Like I told y'all, I've done a video and I have a blog on basically how to navigate on social media, but I'm gonna get a little bit more into it in regards to what I believe is going on. So for those who don't know me, I am Melissa Renee with BellaMinded.com, and this channel is here to center around the womanhood of a Black woman, healing, the connection in the community, just teaching ourselves, learning, growing, and healing, discovering as well. Just call me your spiritual mentor. I'm here. I get it. It's a lot. It's a lot. I get it. So we're going to go kick this intro off while y'all okay? And then we'll be back. So, for one, I'm gonna just be real. Like, being on social media, seeing the temperament, seeing how everything is so hostile, and it's like you can't disagree with people because it becomes a whole thing. Like, if you disagree, you can't have a logical, adult, like intelligent conversation or debate back and forth. It has to become very egregious and very just emotional and reactionary. And I can see, if you're on social media all the time, how you can really, really get sucked up into that if you are not aware and centered, but definitely aware of what is going on. So I've explained and I've said to people before that I read an article, it was back in 2023, and it spoke about how a lot of the people that we interact with on social media, 80% of them are bots. And I personally don't believe the 80% that bots are the one who are uplifting us and speaking life into us and informing us and educating us. I think it's the one who are rage baiting, race baiting, trolling, and spreading misinformation. I'm a deep person. I don't necessarily look at things as just as surface as some other people do. Like I like to say, when people say it's not that deep, it's never that deep until it is that deep. Nothing is never that deep until it is that deep. You sitting on social media going back and forth with somebody who's trolling you is never that deep until it is that deep. Because in reality, a lot of things that we do is deep because it's rooted in something. A troll isn't on social media just trolling because, oh, this is just entertainment. I just like to bully and get under people's skin and see people mad. No, that's rooted in something. Because somebody who is balanced, somebody who is fulfilled, somebody who is mentally, emotionally, and spiritually healthy, they don't see the thrill or entertainment in trolling somebody. what does a healthy minded person get out of wanting to see somebody else unravel and spiral on social media? What does somebody get out of trying to pick apart somebody's insecurities and display it for everybody else? What sane person wants to do that? That's not sane. And we have somehow tried to normalize trolling. And I don't think we intentionally normalize it. I think a lot of times when we title things something and we say it over and over again, the I don't want to say intensity, the the effects of it kind of lessens and lessens, because oh well, this is it's something that's normalized in that sense, because we say it over and over again until it's kind of like etched in our head. Oh, that's a troll, that's a troll, that's a troll, that's a troll, instead of saying like, no, this it's a I don't troll. No, for one, you are a human being. You ain't a troll who live under the bridge. But we kind of take away from things by how we just speak about it in such a matter of fact way, like it's normal. It's nothing about a troll. And it makes me want to say this with my son. I remember talking to my son, my oldest son, and he was like, people like feed into the negativity because people like that. People like the negativity. Nobody don't really like positivity. And I had to explain to him, no, only people who sit in on a level, a lower vibrational level, a distorted frequency, only those type of people gravitate and want more negativity, because the positivity sits on a level, on a higher frequency, which would mean it would require them to actually operate on in their higher self. And to operate in your higher self, you will have to shift your mentality, the way that you think, the way that you view things. You will have to literally change your perspective and perceptions of things and veer it more towards positivity. And the only reason that seems to be a lot and so much for people is because we have become accustomed to operating at such a lower frequency in regards to everything, especially on the internet. Now, like I said again, I'm somebody who looks at things from a deeper perspective. And yes, a lot of people say it's not that deep. It's never that deep until it is. With that being understood, like when people talk about spiritual warfare, I think people skip and don't realize that, yeah, spiritual warfare is going on right there on your phone, on this internet, on this social media. That's the spiritual warfare that's going on. That's what you're battling every day on here. You're battling to not feed into the negativity and to operate in your higher self and actually get on a higher frequency. And with that being said, your whole timeline, your social media engagement will shift. It's not going to be centered around the drama and the negativity. It's going to be centered around upliftment, encouragement, empowerment. Like that's what it's going to be centered around. So when people talk about spiritual warfare, like that's the spiritual warfare on your phone. It's the ability to keep you, and then to me, that's what they're trying to do, keep you as low vibrational as possible. Because one thing they don't want you to do is somehow realize your strength and your power, your magnetism, your ability to be able to change and transform your life. to realize that, you know what? I really do have a happy life. I really do have a great life. Like, you're sitting on social media all day looking at the who's who and the what's. Go on trips, go to Dubai, spend this money, spend that money, comparing their life to your life, and you like I want to do that. And really conditioning your mind, because you're conditioning your mind, really conditioning your mind to make you believe that you're not happy with the life that you have. If you are sitting in a space where you are just, it's a struggle to make ends meet, to eat every day, you trying to figure out how you gonna make it. If that's not what you living in, then you have a, why wouldn't you see yourself having a great life? What, you're not driving a luxury car? Why don't you have a good life? Because you don't live in a gated community? Why don't you have a great life? Because you don't have imported furniture? Because you're not going on trips every every 3 months, or 3 times out of the year, or 4 times out of the year? What is it that makes your life not great? To me, is the social engineering that they're doing in a different way now. Because before social media, a lot of you, a lot of us, we didn't know nothing about what nobody else was doing, but who was doing something within our city and within our town. And we were in a space where we were much more happier and much more content, because we appreciated and we valued the things that we had among who we had it with. A lot of things that we're experiencing is due to, I, I believe it's a war on us us connecting with our spirit, with our soul, with who we are within. And it's to keep us operating in a place where we are concerned about the exterior and we're less focused on the interior, because they know the power of connecting with yourself on the inside, discovering who you are, knowing your value, knowing your self-worth. They know the power within that. And once you connect with that, then you start to realize, like, I don't need that to validate me. I don't need this to make me feel whole. I don't need that. I don't need that. And you start being grateful and appreciative for what you have and who you are in the moment, because you realize, I am everything I need and I have everything I need. And with that understanding, it's so much blessings that would just flow to you abundantly. And they know that. And the last thing they want you to have is abundance. The last thing they want you to realize is that you have the power to create abundance. They want you to believe that they have the power to give you everything you desire and need. Not understanding that comes with you and from you first. The things that's going on social media right now is a part of a spiritual warfare that is going on right now with us. Even through the trolling. Somebody trolling you is only for the sake of making you emotional and having you become reactionary. A stranger telling you something about yourself, or even saying, oh, look at how you look on your profile pic or your avatar, and you just fall in shambles over somebody you don't even know, who 9 out of 10 doesn't even have a picture, but you allowing them to feed off of your insecurities and your emotions. That is spiritual warfare, because what they're doing is showing you don't know who you are. And if you don't know who you are, then somebody can sell you on anything. I'll sell you on who you are. If you don't know who you are, I can sell you on who you are. Oh, ugly, wannabe, ain't got no man, can't afford this, can't afford that. You'll never be this, you'll never be that. I had somebody on my X account, Twitter, like go on my YouTube because he was upset or she was upset. I don't know, because they don't have their real pictures up, and screenshot my YouTube and posted it up and was like, you got 300 videos, you only got 200 subscribers or 100 or something subscribers. Oh my gosh, you've been doing this for 6 years, and saying all of this stuff, screenshotting and posting it. And I'm like, okay. Nah, I didn't care because, yeah, I mean, he's correct. Technically, he's correct. On the other end, I know that, yes, I've been doing my page for 6 years on and off. Like, years passing by and I ain't post a thing. 1 year may have posted 2 things. So I know that I've been very inconsistent on my YouTube page over the span of 6 years, i.e., the reason why I have 300 videos and only 200 subscribers, because I wasn't putting in the work. But see, the fact that I have owned that, the fact that I know I wasn't putting in the work, that's why I have 200 subscribers. I'm okay with you saying that, yeah. And now I could have took the time to explain, well, first of all, I started in this year and then 2 years went by and I'm not explaining shit to him, her, whoever it is. Like, I don't even know if you a person. You could be a real bot right now. I don't even know if you're real. So why am I sitting here? Why would I even sit here and try to explain why I have 200 subscribers and 300 something videos? Like, why would I? Like, who are you? I don't know who you are. You know, I don't have to prove anything to you. I don't care what you think. Believe what you believe, and it ain't gonna stop. And thank you for screenshotting, because I look pretty cute on some of those all of the screenshots I look pretty cute in. So thank you. And the funny thing is, because I didn't respond the way he wanted to, he had a meltdown. He was the one who melted down. That was the funny part. You came on here to troll me and try to get me upset, only for you to turn around and be spiraling. And since that didn't work, you tried to call me every name in the book, and you a bit, you this, you that. Like, okay. You know, and I explained to him, and I explained to any troll out there, it is 2025. Trolling is so late. Like, that's the latest thing to troll. Like, imagine you waking up in the morning and deciding, I'm going to go out of my way today to get on the internet to find somebody to bully or pick on. That's just, I have a life. I don't have time for that. I have things to do. I have things to do. And one of the things I do is I heal. Okay, I'm self-aware. I work on myself so I don't have to come on social media to project the insecurities that I have in my real everyday life. I don't have to project the way I feel like people in my real life treat me or dismiss me as, and bring it to social media and try to treat somebody else the way that I feel like I get treated or looked at in my everyday life. See, when you gain a sense of understanding, then you look at this whole social media thing, when it comes to the negative aspect of it, you look at it in a whole different light, and you realize and understand, like, okay, this is deeper than just social media. This is really a way of them to socially engineer us to keep ourselves at the bare minimum, to keep us fighting for validation, to keep us seeking value in exterior material things. It's everything to keep us distracted from seeing the value within. And that's simply what it is. It's like going into, and I've spoke on this before, the age of Aquarius, right? And so I don't know if y'all have heard of like the age of Aquarius. We're entering the age of Aquarius, but you can look it up for yourself. But it's just simply talking about like how we are entering a stage and how we're entering a moment where now the truth will be exposed, and more importantly, people are becoming more aware. Some of you are already aware of what this social media thing is. You see what I'm saying? Some people are already aware when someone comes on there talking about, for instance, the guy, I guess the Latin American guy who decided to do the review on the Sinners movie and decided to say, oh, Ryan Coogler was hijacked Dust Till Dawn by Quentin Tarantino, a Latin American inspired movie, and he didn't even put any Latin people in his movie. And some of you already knew what that was about. Some of you was like, oh, okay, I get it. It can't be a moment where Black people can be centered and be the focal point and get the credit and the just due for creating something by a Black person for Black people with Black people. So I get it, and didn't feed any more into it than that. It grossed, and the movie made more than y'all expected it to make, and now somehow y'all have to discredit and take the steam away from the movie because the audacity that a Black director, producer could create a movie that we was hoping didn't do well, and it did numbers. And even deeper than that, how dare y'all as Black people support? Because this is something they typically do, right? They did it with Birth of a Nation with Nate Parker, when he did the movie Birth of a Nation by it was by Nat Turner. It was about Nat Turner, and they put slung all kind of mud during the campaigning of that movie about Nate Parker and his his past of what happened between him, what it was, statutory great and stuff like that. I'm not sure, but they basically threw so much slang and mud on the campaign of the movie that by the time the movie came out, it didn't do as well, or it didn't do what was projected. They did the same thing when it came down to, what was the other movie, The Woman King. The same thing they did with Woman King. They threw mud at The Woman King. Oh, it's the movie. They were helping the Confederate. They was doing this. They was doing that. Which in the movie they addressed that. It was throwing slang at that movie. They did it to that movie. This is what they do. And when you are aware and when you understand it, you're like, oh, okay, I get it. Now, when you're not aware and you don't understand the game that is being played, you don't understand the warfare that is going on right now, then you start to become emotional. You react emotionally, whether you arguing back and forth with ignorant people about the movie, or you starting to be like, well, yeah, that could be true. The whole point of the matter is, who cares if it was inspired by Dust Till Dawn or if he took from Dust Till Dawn? I don't care. As much as people have taken and off of the influence of Black people, you seriously think that that's going to make me be like, nah, I don't want to see it now because I don't care. I don't care. I'ma still see it. I'ma still support it because it's about the art. If it's a good movie, it's a good movie. And I'm going to support this Black director creating this great movie. because I want to see him do more movies. And I know if I don't support him, and if he can't recoup the money back from the investors and the people who put their money up, even if he put his money up, if he can't get his money back, it's going to be harder and harder for him to produce more movies. And the objective is he's a great director. He makes great movies, and I want to see more movies. And we got to understand too, allow people to feel how they feel. You ain't got to like the movie. You could dislike the movie, whatever you want. Okay, cool. I'ma still see it. You are entitled to feel how you feel. I want Black people to understand this so bad, that Black people are very influential in this country, very, very influential outside of this country, very much so. Black Americans, very much influential. And when we recognize that and understand that, then we can realize that we don't have to allow people to try to feed off of our emotions and influence. Because think about it, if they know that we're influential, then they will definitely play that spiritual warfare on us, get into our minds, play with our minds, and have us going against our own people. And they're going to do that because they know we're so influential. We're going to be the loudest. We're going to be the most seen, screaming, don't watch this movie. Don't watch this movie. Mission accomplished. When you recognize that, okay, this is nothing but a game, when you recognize that, then you play chess. You play chess. You don't let them feed off your emotions, and you don't let them fearmonger you. Because I want us to get out of that. Like when we talk about certain things or post certain things on social media, it's like, oh, if you say that, they gonna get you. The power that be, they gonna get you. The power that be, they gonna get you. Baby, if you believe in the Most High, if you know the Most High, if you know the powers that the Most High have, then you ain't gonna ever doubt or ever put yourself in a position to feel like you gotta walk around here tippy-toeing. And no, be strategic, of course. Be strategic. You ain't got to be fearful. You just got to play chess. And when you sit down playing chess, you're not scared. You ain't deciding not to move that queen or that king because you scared. No, you ain't moving it because you got other plans, because you are strategic in the way that you gonna take that queen. It's being shown. We are seeing it right now on social media. We are seeing it on the internet. It's power dynamics that are shifting. And that's part of the age of Aquarius. They say you're going to see power dynamics shifting, meaning the powers that be will no longer sit in the position to have the influence, the power, and the control over the people. It will be the people who have the control over their communities and control over them. And we already see that a lot right now. We see that when you even look at celebrity, we see that. How at one point in time, a celebrity could pick up anything and say, hey, y'all should buy this. I got it. Woo, woo. And people be running to go get it. Now you have people like, I feel you. And it might be good, but baby, I got bills. Oh, I don't really need that. Oh, I'm not paying $1,000 for that. Sorry. Saying that celebrities aren't going to be what's going to influence the people anymore. It's not going to be the who's who and the what aren't going to be the who's who and the what's anymore. Just not happening anymore. A celebrity just can't sell you something now, just can't tell you something now. That's why you will see more celebrities try to be more personable. People are going to connect more with people who are relatable, who look like them in the sense of the way that they operate and think and move. Basically, at the end of the day, just be mindful when you go on social media, and be mindful that it ain't that deep until it is. Okay? It's never that deep until it is. And I'm not saying that it is for us to make something out of everything, it's just to say pick and choose your battles. It's some things that's worth actually like looking into, worth paying attention to, and then there's some things that's not worth paying attention to and not looking into. Okay, just know that these things are not accidental. As much as we act like things are accidental, like, oh, it's just people who just like to troll, it's just people who just like to rage bait or race bait and come on social media. But no, this is not unintentional. These people are doing these things for a reason. Now, maybe it's not intentional in their thought process of how this will affect them down the line, what this does and where this sits them and puts them within their spirit and soul, but it's definitely intentional on whatever they're trying to gain on a very surface level. So just make sure you just get on social media and be intentional about why you're there. Be intentional on who to indulge conversations with, who to interact with, and be intentional on posting and what you coming on there for. What are you coming on here social media to do? You coming on to give a word, you coming on to give encouragement, you coming on to educate, enlighten, you coming on to promote your business. What are you coming on there to do versus just coming on there for the purpose of just consuming things? Because if you don't come on social media with a purpose and being intentional, you will very well find yourself consuming things that you wasn't necessarily trying to consume. And even though you might be like, oh, whatever, but you repeatedly, that's sinking into your subconscious repeatedly over and over again. The point I'm trying to make is that if you're not intentional with what you watch, if you're not intentional with the way you scroll or interact on social media, if you just on there without having purpose and intentions, yes, these things come into your subconscious. And before you know it, you're not thinking nothing of it. Why you so temperamental? Why you're so irritated? Why you're so high strung? Why you so emotional? Why you so sad? Like, why you looking all of a sudden feeling so needy and need attention and need this validation? You don't understand it, but you're not being intentional or even thinking about what you are consuming on an everyday basis. Because it used to be TV, but now it's the internet, because that's where we are most of the time. So like I said, it ain't never too deep, or it ain't never that deep until it is. So I want to suggest to you all, to all of the lovely, beautiful Black women out there that are 21 and over, to join Attract Your Tribe, free membership to join Attract Your Tribe, so that you can have a healthy dynamics of social media and being on social media and interacting with people on the internet, how that feels, and know the difference between interacting on in a space that is, for one, centered around you and that leaves that toxicity out and gives you a space and a place where you can interact and engage on social media on a healthier note, versus on regular social media. I just want y'all to see the difference. I want y'all to see the difference. And I promise you, engaging on that, I know you're going to see it different. It's not a feel. I know you're going to see it different. I'm not telling you to leave it, but just join. and see how instrumental that the workshops, the webinars, the things that we do and how we engage, how instrumental that can be in your life, and how much more you will be more self-aware in the way you will navigate going on these other social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram, etc. Like, pay attention to how that's going to shift and change. Like, in this group, you're going to realize that tapping into your feminine energy, just balancing yourself, just finding healing and discovering yourself, how that is going to change so much of your life, from something like social media to your everyday life, to how you start connecting, engaging with other Black women, how you will have less drama in your life, and you will see so much positivity, so much happening, so much abundance. Thank y'all all for checking me out. Thank y'all all for watching. And I will see y'all on the next tip. Peace and blessings.